there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. Over the past few weeks, I've been giving you my top tips on how to achieve your health, fitness and weight loss goals before the end of the year. And this week I've got another top tip, and we're talking about food this week. So one of the things that I really encourage my clients to do is to think of their food as fuel. You may have heard me talk about this before, but it's similar to how you would fill up your car with fuel. You want to make sure you're giving it the right fuel. So if your car is petrol, you don't want to be filling it up with diesel, or else it won't run properly, and vice versa. If it's diesel, you don't want to be filling it up with petrol. It's going to cost you a lot of money to sort that problem out. So think of your body in the same sort of way as you would your car. You need to give it the right sort of fuel in order for it to work at optimum performance. And I'm not talking about performance in terms of like being an athlete. I'm just meaning in terms of being able to function on a daily basis, feeling awake, feeling energized, being able to cope with your daily demands, whether that's family, children, work, social, just you, your exercise schedule, all of those things. Whatever it is that you do on a daily basis, being able to function and having the fuel to do all of those activities and things. So when I'm talking about fuel for your body, food, the best choices, think about healthy, nutritious, most likely colourful but natural foods that that you feel good for eating. So yes, you might feel good if you have, I don't know, cake, chocolate, crisps, ice cream, things like that. Especially things like sugary foods. You will get an instant high, which will feel quite good. But how do you feel in the long term having those foods? Do you get that crash afterwards when you have the sugary foods? Do you feel a bit of a slump after you've had those foods? Maybe you have a mid-afternoon slump and you can't wait to go home from work, or you're sort of thinking, oh, what can you have next? And you're craving those sweet foods again, or whatever it is. Think about how you feel. Is it the right food for your body to keep it going, to keep it fueled and working efficiently? If you're thinking it's not, if you're thinking, oh, I know that I'm eating too much sugar, or I'm not eating the right foods, could be eating a lot healthier, more natural, nutritious foods, eating too much fat or too much protein you could be eating too much of. You could be eating too much of anything. Sugar is particularly one of the bad ones. But if you're thinking that you need to make some changes on that, then that is what I want you to focus on this week. Think about, we all know, most of us know what is good for our bodies and what our bodies would prefer. Natural, healthy, nutritious foods. Now, I'm not saying you need to cut stuff out, but you just need to look at maybe making some food swaps. So thinking that most of your meal could be sort of your vegetables, your salads, bulking up on those, and then your sort of natural, nutritious carbohydrates, things like potatoes or sweet potatoes. And then your natural nutritious proteins. You could obviously go for plant-based proteins and your beans and your pulses and things like that. Or you could go for chicken, fish, lean sort of protein, that sort of thing. Obviously, some red meat is absolutely fine. You don't need to cut anything out. You just need to think about what would be best for my body, what do I perform best on, what do I feel best having consumed, what gives me the most energy to perform and to keep going for the whole day, and eat more of that. And everyone will be different. Everyone prefers different foods. I know personally, and I'm not saying everyone needs to do this, I like to have not low carbs, because I do need to eat carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are good for you. You just don't need as much as perhaps our diets often do as much as we consume, perhaps. But I know that I prefer having sort of lots of vegetables or salad and more protein and a little bit of carbohydrates, and that helps to keep me fuller, feeling good, and leaner as well. I like to feel lean. I don't like to feel bloated. I try and avoid gluten if I can, because that makes me feel bloated. So I just know that I should try and choose gluten-free foods, natural, healthy, nutritious, gluten-free foods. But not everyone is the same. I'm not saying jump on a bandwagon, but just think about what your body likes, what you prefer, what energizes you, and go with those foods and make yourself a bit of a food plan. Get that food in when you do your shop next week. Don't get swayed and buying the convenience foods and the snacky, sugary snacks and things like that. Think about what your body needs. Think of your body as a machine. It needs the right fuel in order to perform, and that's my top tip for this week. So have a go with that. If you've got any questions, please do get in touch, and I'll be back next week with another top tip to help you achieve your goals.